couple of weeks ago, Meg 2 The Trench debuted on Rotten Tomatoes with a rare 0% approval rating. It's since earned a couple of positive reviews and crept up to the 20s, but it's still a pretty dismal critical reception. I really enjoyed the first Meg film. It wears its heart on its sleeve as a big, dumb, goofy monster movie, and it delivers on the promise to have Jason Statham fight a giant shark. So I was still looking forward to the sequel, even when it was on 0%. And having now seen the Meg 2, I can see why critics didn't like it. Its plotting is absurd, its characterization is razor thin, and it has practically no artistic merit. But if a movie has Jason Statham fighting a 75-foot shark in hand-to-hand combat, who needs artistic merit? My takeaway from Meg 2 The Trench is that it's really, really stupid. So whether or not you'll enjoy it depends on whether you think that's a good or bad thing. When Ben Wheatley was announced as the director for the Meg 2, I got really excited. Wheatley directed Kill List, Sightseers, A Field in England, some of the darkest British movies ever made. I couldn't wait to see his grim, grisly take on a Meg film. I was expecting buckets of blood, gruesome satire, pitch black humor, and a hard R rating.
Fuck you!
And it's not quite the Ben Wheatley Meg movie I had in mind. He plays it a lot safer than I would have liked, which is understandable when he's dealing with studio money and the film needs to do well internationally and blah blah blah. But there are some moments that are pure Wheatley. There's a scene where a character's helmet gets cracked during the depressurization process and her whole head explodes. And in the big finale, spoiler alert, Statham kills a Meg by stabbing it through the face and out the back of its head with a rotor from a downed helicopter. I thought Wheatley would be the star here, but Meg 2, much like Meg 1, is mostly salvaged by its cast. Jason Statham and Cliff Curtis play it totally straight, which somehow makes it work. And the sequel has a really fun role for Wu Jing as Statham's deadpan sidekick. And Shuya Sophia Kai gets more to do this time around, as our now teenage Mei Ying wants to follow Jonas Taylor into his Meg-slaying adventures. There are a lot of really messy action sequences where it's hard to tell what's going on. The action works best when there's clearly defined stakes and a goal the hero is working towards. There's a great scene where Jason Statham is trying to override the mainframe in an underwater station so he can save his friends from drowning. But there's a bad guy who keeps trying to stop him. So this room full of Statham's best friends and his teenage stepdaughter is rapidly filling with water and they're all gasping for air. And every time he goes for the laptop to save them, this guy comes along and punches him in the face. The tension of this scene works brilliantly because you know what Statham needs to do, you know what will happen if he doesn't do it in time, and you know what's standing in his way. It's really effective action filmmaking, but you only really get that kind of clarity in 2 or 3 of the big set pieces. Like its predecessor, the Meg 2 borrows the message of Jurassic Park and delivers it in much less depth. Like Jurassic Park, the Meg movies tell us that the real monsters aren't the prehistoric creatures running around eating people. The real monsters are the money-grubbing humans who want to profit from them. And much like in Jurassic Park and in the first Meg film, those money-grubbing villains meet the most gruesome fate of all. It's predictable, but it doesn't take away from the joy of bloody slapstick.
You can relax. This place, Meg-proof. I mean, Jonas was always afraid of this, but I was also thinking...
Most of the best parts of the Meg 2 were revealed in the trailers. It would have been great to go in fresh when Jess is bragging about the glass being Meg-proof before a Meg breaks through the glass and eats her, but the setup and punchline were both in the trailer. Even the climactic moment of a Meg chasing Jason Statham up a boardwalk was spoiled in the trailer. They couldn't have left in like 1 or 2 surprises. But that's really my only major gripe. And if you don't want anything to be spoiled, you can just not watch the trailers. It's partly my own fault if I'm gonna consume trailers voraciously and then show them to everyone I know. Bad reviews have tanked a few movies this summer, like The Flash and Indiana Jones, but The Meg has still been a big hit in spite of its unanimously negative reviews, because audiences know what they're getting with a Meg film. It's like a Fast and Furious movie with big sharks instead of fast cars. It doesn't matter if it's ridiculous, you're counting on it being ridiculous, that's all part of the fun. The Meg 2 is basically the exact same as the first Meg. If you liked the first one, you'll like this one. If you hated the first one, you'll hate this one. It's just dumb fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously and it has plenty of monster movie thrills. It doesn't transcend its B-movie label like I hoped it would with Wheatley in the director's chair, but there's nothing wrong with a B-movie that does what it says on the tin. We need these silly, escapist movies just as much as we need more hard-hitting dramatic fare like Oppenheimer. They just serve different needs. Meg 2 serves the need to forget that the world is on fire for a couple of hours while you watch Jason Statham hop on a jet ski and literally jump the shark.
You have been down on my knees. Ooh, barracuda.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.